Kings, queens, and in-betweens, welcome back to the City Boys podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about St. Louis City winning the Supporter Shield in MLS Next Pro. Shout out to the second team. In reality, we're going to be talking about St. Louis City's unfortunate 3-0 defeat to LAFC, officially eliminating us from playoff contention. But before we get into the match, let me introduce myself and our co-host. My name is Ethan Thornton, joined by two of my best friends in the whole wide world. We look fantastic tonight. Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. As you visual watchers can see, the three of us are sporting the Santos hat slash half luchador mask that they had on sale at the pregame, in which the three of us attended. It was a fantastic time, but more on that later. Grayson, my brother, how are you doing?
I am doing all right. I was frustrated because of some technical difficulties, but prior to that, just had another soccer game, and my team performed really well. We did take an L. We lost 2-0, but that's our best result of the season so far. And considering we had no subs and they scored an own goal and a PK, I'm very happy. I'm very content. My kids, I don't think they watch this. They probably shouldn't. They probably shouldn't. But hey, I'm proud of you either way.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, technological forces certainly conspired to keep you away, but nothing would keep Grayson from talking about this week's game, especially one that all three of us got to attend. Jacob, you mentioned it that we got to go to the Santos pregame. If you have never attended that, highly recommend. You got to check it out. The vibes are incredible every time.
So fun.
Jacob got maybe the toughest picture I have ever seen of him in the process. My word, take us through that, Jacob. A picture tells 1,000 words, and we have a podcast to talk about it. What was going on there?
So in under 1,000 words, basically, as those of you who know us personally and have probably figured out by now, if you don't, we are through and through soccer heads. So Grayson and I had arrived to the pregame pretty early because I wanted to get a good parking spot. If I'm being completely honest, I wanted to get a solid parking spot.
We got a great one.
The kickoff or the pregame kickoff started at like 4 o'clock. I think I parked the car at like 4:02. Like we were there pretty early. Grace and myself and Katie, who is a friend of the pod, she's probably watching right now, hopped out the car, walked into the pregame. The festivities were already popping off. They had food on the grill. It smelled fantastic.
Incredible.
The what is it? It's not No Goal Patrol. What's the other tent that's at
Riot?
That one?
They had Riot Squad.
Riot was there. They had their own tent with some merchandise they were selling. But then you walked to the Santos tent, and these hats stood out immediately.
Dude,
we didn't even know this was on the back. It was just the front at first. I was like, oh, tough. A Santos hat in the city red. Fantastic. I started to look at it. And then the gal who was selling them pulls out the back. She was like, it's got a luchador mask on the back of it. I was like, that's great. How much? She said 25. I said, that's nothing. You can take my money. So we grab it and then we're kicking it, talking to a couple people. And Grayson points out the soccer tennis. And I was like, should we go kick things off? And then next thing you know, Grayson and I are there playing soccer tennis until it was time to march, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
We started it off. Grayson and I were showing off our techers, just the two of us. And then a couple of these kids came up and wanted to play. And, Grayson and I aren't gatekeepers of the game. We had our heyday. It's time to let the little kids shine.
The next gen.
And so the picture was taken when I was actually trying to get the kid who's photographed with me. I was trying to get him a great shot of getting a soccer tennis header over the net. But I had previously mentioned that I had a heyday. It is past me. I could not set him up with a perfect header to get it over the net. So that's how that picture came to be.
Oh, and it was a hell of a time down there. Ran into Tom and Soccer Zombie Tom, and yeah, STL Soccer News on Twitter. Chris, legends of the game. Ran into them. Ran into a ton of people from Santos. And it was just a great pregame all around. The vibes. at the game, we'll get into that, might not have been the greatest, but the pregame itself was easily one of the best pregames I've been to all season. Santos and STL fans we're feeling it before the game. We were feeling it, and it was a good start to the day for sure.
Absolutely was, man. And I can't lie, guys. Since I live 4 hours away here in Louisville, whenever I go to the St. Louis City game, I'm trying to make the most out of it. I want the full match day experience, and that's really what I feel like Santos. They're not paying us or anything. This isn't an advertisement for the Santos pregame. We just love it that much and have such a good time that the community that is St. Louis City SC is what makes it so special. We just love being a part of it, and every time we go, I have such fond memories. Like I have fond memories of Saturday despite the result
Yeah,
of
yeah,
us being eliminated from the playoffs and losing 3-0, if that says anything. And I think that says a lot because the sporting side of it matters quite a lot to us as well.
yeah. Definitely one of the most fun times I've had at a game, even though it was, in my opinion, the worst performance of the season.
Yeah, it's up there for
Ooh.
sure.
Well, should we get
So,
into it, guys? Are we ready to get into the game?
Yeah, yeah, let's go ahead and kick it off. I've got lineups for you guys today. We've got Roman Berkey in between the sticks, holding it down as always. We've got Devin Padelford on the left, Falu Fall returning to the starting lineup left center back, Timo Baumgartel right center back, and Conrad Valum right back. Our midfield pivot, we got Chris Durkin and Edu Leuven, of course. We've got Hartle in the 10. And on the left, McScorley. On the right, Song Bing Jong returning to the starting 11. And up top, the boy, Zhao Klaus. We did get a bunch of subs in this game as well. We had,
All five.
yeah, all five subs coming in. We had Thomas Totland, Alfredo Morales, Celio Pompeu, Makai Joyner, and Kyle Hebert in for Falu Fall to end the game. Um, Honestly, this is a pretty solid lineup from St. Louis City, one of our strongest, besides
Mhm.
obviously Kessler missing out this weekend. What do you guys think? I honestly feel like we should have created more with this lineup. I feel like we've started to have really decent run of form with these guys, and this was just the complete opposite of the team we've been seeing lately.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
Grayson, I think.
know.
Go ahead. There he is.
I don't know if it was part of the Critch game plan for us to have such a low block, or if it's just because of the quality that LAFC possess on the ball that made us back up so far because of how dangerous they are. But even with this being one of our strongest 11, it didn't feel like we stood much of a chance.
Yeah, that says all that it needs to about this lineup, Jacob, because Grayson, I agree with you. This is one of our stronger starting 11s, and it really could not compete with LAFC's quality, which is really unfortunate, man, especially coming off the back of two road wins. St. Louis City are riding a high. I know that Montreal is not exactly the greatest team, but San Jose are challenging for a wild card spot in the playoffs still. So it felt reasonable, right? It felt like we might be able to pull off an upset here. And we knew it would be an upset, but with the home fans behind them, I think we went into, at least I went into this game with my hopes a little high, and they were crushed pretty immediately, frankly. I like that Critchley stuck with McSorley after his man of the match performance against San Jose. I think that was well deserved, even though I don't think McSorley necessarily had the greatest of performances. And I also like seeing Makai Joyner once again. I think that is going to be important, especially in these last few matches of the season. Now that we are officially eliminated, maybe he gets a start or a full
RIP.
90 minutes. So that's my thoughts on the lineup, other than I wish that we would have seen them score a goal.
Yeah, speaking of scoring goals, just looking at some stats here prior to the pod. This is the first time that St. Louis has been blanked since July. July 19th, we got a 3-0 scoreline against Dallas, which arguably is probably the worst performance outside of this one. But I mean, with this one, this is our starting 11 here. Back in July, it was nowhere close to the team we have now. And also, St. Louis has been quite in form, scoring 10 goals in our last nine or last five. 10 goals in our last five, and we got blanked in this match. So that was really disappointing considering the amount of attacking power that we have now available to us. Um, so that hurt my feelings quite a bit. I predicted a 2-1, and I didn't think that we could upset LAFC, but I at least wanted to compete in this game, and I felt like we did nothing.
I agree, Grayson. It felt like St. Louis City had a moment to potentially rise to the occasion, and we got stomped out pretty early on.
Gray, do you have the stats in front of you?
I do. What do you need
How
to
many
know?
shots on goal did we have?
Two.
Okay.
I
How
wouldn't
many
have been
shots
surprised if it was
total did we
zero.
have?
I knew that off the dome. We had 8 shots total, and I don't remember us having 8 shots.
Yeah, me either. But this is coming off what, the back of a fair few games here where we're having high teens shots, almost close to 20 shots.
True.
And
If
then if you go back 3 games ago, we created 47
or
chances.
Yeah. So
We
it's
got 2 shots on
clear.
goal.
Yeah, this time we had 3 shots off target, 2 on, 3 of them blocked, 5 of them inside the box, 3 from the outside. Our XG was 0.56 compared to their 2. Um, but they really just took over the stats in terms of possession. They controlled the ball in our half way more than their own.
It felt
Um,
like almost the entire game was played in our defensive half.
No,
yeah,
LAFC is impressive with not only their offense. We know that Denny Bwanga, Heung-min Son are both like insanely good on and off the ball
mhm.
in the attacking sense, but their midfield, even without Timothy Tillman, who's serving a red card suspension right now, Tillman was a monster every time he plays us. So I was so happy that he was not in the lineup. And just LAFC once again with their really good, really successful executed press, just kept St. Louis pinned back. It forced some errors. I mean, we're about to get into the goals here, but their high press forced some errors on our end. Our defense got exposed, to say it lightly.
Yeah, it's one thing to say that our attack didn't really create anything, which is true. It's another to say that they didn't even have the opportunities to create much. St.
Which is
Louis
true.
City felt like we were under duress for all 90 minutes of the game. From my recollection of being at the game, it felt like there was maybe a 10-minute period or so where St. Louis City was in control, and it was right at the start, and it basically ended when Sangbin was through on goal and had that collision with Lloris.
And got a
After that,
card.
and was carded after that moment in the match. It kind of felt like LAFC was like, okay, well, that was a slap in the face. Let's pick it up and do what we do and demonstrate our quality. And it didn't feel like St. Louis City created much of any chances in the second half, as far as I'm concerned. There were a few free kick chances and that shout for a penalty toward the end of the game. But like, even after, we didn't create chances until it was 3-0 down, and essentially the game was out of reach to begin with. So
We did have one goal sneak in, but it was ruled offsides due to Celio in the buildup. It was very tight. Um, I think that might have gave us a little bit momentum going into the end of the match, but it really would not have changed much other than, you know, stealing LAFC's clean sheet, which would have made me feel a lot better, honestly.
just before we move into the goals, Grayson, I do want to highlight a few LAFC players that I thought played pretty well, since St. Louis City doesn't have too many. I thought Tafari played great in the central center back position for them. You could not get a pass by him if it was 20 feet over his head, if it was 10 feet by him on the ground. He felt like Mr. Fantastic out there, dude. He was intercepting everything. I also thought that Smolyakov, their left wing back, had a fantastic game combining with Bawanga up that left side. I was kind of surprised at how locked down their defense was, to be frank with you guys. I thought that St. Louis City would be able to exploit them on the wings with our speed and quality, and we we didn't even get the chance.
It didn't even give us the chance. Somebody that I thought you might have mentioned as well, other than the two, main goal scorers for LAFC, was that boy Delgado is quietly one of the best
Oh
center
wow.
mids in the league.
Yeah.
He is.
In
Mhm.
possession and against the ball, he is in the right place at the right time. I don't think I saw him put a pass wrong, let alone a foot. Um, you compare his like body of work to who's supposed to be that guy for us in Edu Leuven, and he was miles better on the night than Edu was.
He misplaced
It's well said.
7 out of his 96 passes, Mark Delgado. Delgado's fantastic. Ever since I mean, he's been around the league for a long time. I know he played for Toronto, I believe, for some time before really establishing himself in the MLS Cup winning LA Galaxy side. And LA was pretty hard done, being forced. He was one of the players that they had to move on from after winning the cup. And LAFC, I wish that they did not give him to LAFC. Give him to
Yeah,
any other team, really.
Yeah.
that was robbery from a rival.
So, I mean, yeah, credit to LAFC for a great game. Credit to Steve Cherundolo. I heard that is his 100th win um,
Fuck.
in the
Damn.
MLS. So
It's
great to
his
be part of
farewell
history,
season
you know?
too. It's his last year coaching LAFC, so it feels I get the sense that they are out for blood going into these playoffs, and that we're kind of a casualty in a killing spree right now.
Signing
And
Heung-Min Son is one of the biggest signs of intent to win the cup, if I've ever heard it.
also a Denny Bouanga casualty on his way to go and try to steal the golden boot from Leo Messi this season.
There's a chance. I don't. It seems unlikely to me, but knowing him, is it impossible? No, no. He is. LAFC fans call him inevitable, and it really is true. He is inevitably he will score on your team.
It does sound like St. Louis might have a bid in for a new owner with Son joining the squad. So we'll have to worry about that. But honestly, I was really impressed with the amount of Korean fans I saw at the game showing their
Same.
love for Son. Just a ton of Korean flags being
Mm-hmm.
flung around the stadium. And that didn't make me feel some type of way. What did make me feel some type of way is the amount of Tottenham shirts I saw at the game.
Yeah, it's one thing to
Take
fly
that
the South
off.
Korean flag because we also have Sangbin. So then you're all you can
That's
play a
support. That's
double
support.
role there, which is very cool in my opinion. If you were there to support a player of your nationality, that's awesome. If you're just there for Son wearing Son Tottenham jerseys, oh my gosh. I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad that so many fans are getting to experience seeing their favorites. For example, that's why I brought my mom to this game specifically. She fell in love with soccer in part because of Tottenham and fell in love with Heung-min Son like many people have around the world. And she was hyped to see him play in person. She
It
loved it.
was incredible. It was incredible to see him. I mean, Son is one of those players that you cannot hate. Like he's like N'Golo Kante, I'm trying to think of other players like that where they're just
Kevin De
just
Bruyne.
such good people on and off the pitch. You just can't hate them. And Son, you tested me this time, but you're good. I still love you. And it was awesome. It was awesome to watch him play. Like he
He's
put on
so
he
good,
he put
bro.
on a clinic.
He's so
Yeah, I was
good.
definitely fanned out during the game. When he came over to drink water with Roman Berkey, I got my phone out right away and took a video. Yeah, that was very cool to see a player of his caliber in person.
Let's go ahead and get into this
Yeah,
match
enough of being an
review.
LAFC podcast.
Enough glazing. Let's get into the shit show. It starts off really rough. It would be that LAFC press coming in handy here. Conrad Vollum receives the ball from Ido Leuven, and honestly, he takes a bad touch to start it off, and that's the beginning of the issue because that bad touch takes him under pressure from Denny Boanga. Um, Vollum attempts to take a couple touches and pass it back to Timo, kind of reset the defense. not even close to enough power in that pass. So it actually goes straight to Denny Bouanga, who just makes a beeline towards the goal, and no pressure whatsoever on the ball means Denny gets a perfect shot slotted to the bottom left corner. Just absurd. This was on the opposite side of the pitch from where we were. So I actually did not see the giveaway at all. I just thought LAFC was just trolling us. Like it was so quick, such a quick turnaround,
Yeah.
and just super disappointing start to the game. And no pressure on the ball would continue to be a trend.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
unfortunately, Timo Baumgartel backpedaling would be somewhat of a trend because in the 45th plus 4, Heung-min Son would pick up a ball on the wing from Smolyakov, the left wing back that I mentioned earlier. Heung-min Son would turn. He's in the left channel on this part of the field level with the midfield circle. So he's pretty far from St. Louis City's goal when he picks up this ball. He turns and runs at speed, which he has lots of it. So he runs very fast toward our box. Now, here's where Timo Baumgartel does have an important decision to make, and I think he is making the right one until a critical decision. Timo Baumgartel is backpedaling and backing him down up until that top of the box area, and then Son is just still dribbling. Heung-min Son doesn't even make a move. He doesn't make a fake, a feint. He just takes his space the whole way. Baumgartel's backing off the whole time. Heung-min Son eventually dribbles it all the way into our box before simply finishing it into the bottom left corner. Frankly, probably not an easier goal than you're going to score at this level other than a tap in if you're Son. It's a great take. It's a lot of quality. It's very frustrating defending, though, from Timo Baumgartel. I know we're kind of harping on him at this moment, but it's so frustrating to see those two nearly identical goals go in, especially in the first half. That second goal in stoppage time took the wind out of our sails. Going into halftime 1-0 down is a completely different story than 2. And I think that was the kill shot for us.
I did see a tweet that said Son should have just kept dribbling and see if he could get Baumgartel to just run into his own goal. Because it would have happened because he was not stepping. He was not willing to put in a tackle. Period. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's one thing to like back up the whole way, but then once you get to your box, like as long as he's still outside of the box, I say screw it, throw a foot in. But then once he's in the box, then
Yeah,
you're
it's
left with like you have to defend like well, but still there's too much space between Timo and the ball anyways, once Son is in the box.
100%, Jacob. Yeah, and like you mentioned, as soon as Timo Baumgartel is hitting that threshold of the top of the box, he needs to understand where he is on the field and either face up or like stop backpedaling essentially, or like Jacob said, make a tackle. He has a choice there. And I'm not a professional soccer player. I think that 100 times out of 100, Son is getting around me. But I have enough playing experience to know that you have to make a decision in that moment as a defender. You've backpedaled past the midfield channel. No defensive midfielders have picked up Son. Your outside back has not picked him up. It's your turn to step, and we don't see anything like that from the defender. That's what makes it so frustrating for me to see. And this is, I almost feel like a broken record at this point. Grayson, you talked about it on the first goal. Timo backpedaling. How many times have we talked about a goal going in and our center backs are backpedaling this season? We saw it in our first game against LAFC, except it was Henry Kessler that Denny Bouanga backed down all the way into essentially the 6-yard box. Same thing here. Players of their quality, of Denny Bouanga and Heung-min Son's quality, are not going to miss chances from those areas, and they punished us.
Respectfully,
Yeah.
you have to put some meat on players that are that good. You have to let them know that you're there with at least putting your body on them, not giving them all the room, keeping their
Hmm.
balance the entire
Yeah.
way, continuing their momentum. You have got to put some meat into them.
Yeah.
Pause.
Speaking
It's
of
definitely
this,
one way to put it.
I mean, we're about to get into this third goal. I think Jacob's got this one, but
It's very similar.
it's extremely similar. except for the fact that Timo makes the tackle and misses in the 6-yard box instead of making it in the 18.
Okay, so we'll just start from the jump. City giveaway in the center of the field. Son picks it up, plays it forward to Delgado. Delgado drives down our field like they've done the previous two goals and multiple other chances throughout the match. He plays it out wide. I think it's to Smolly, or no, first he plays it to Son, who continued his run to get to the top of the box. Plays Smolyakov on the left side of the box. Smolyakov tries to put in a cross, but Timo does dive in, misses. Smolyakov plays it back up to the top of the box where Son is sitting there with so much space and time in the world. And Alfredo, subbed in more assless, is out there in the worst attempt I've ever seen to try to close down space with your hands behind your back, doing like a crab shuffle walk forward. Son doesn't do any fancy skill moves either. He just like touches the ball to the left and then he touches it to the right to give him a little bit of time and space. And then he buries it into the corner and celebrates in front of the City fans with the reserves that were warming up in a really cool, I gotta be totally honest, crossover fadeaway jumper that he tried to pull off. It was like, damn, that was really shitty and also sick to watch all at the same time.
I was not watching those celebrations. I had my eyes closed. Um, and I was crying. No,
Dude,
that
that is the kind of goal that you dream of seeing, just not against your team.
Yeah.
no, I was about to say that goal reminds me of um Ronaldinho's highlight reel goal. If you go on YouTube, you look at Ronaldinho highlights, you're eventually gonna run into this goal, which I want to say is against Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken, where he's in the box, he's standing perfectly still, he swings a foot at it, like not even like it's like not even a fake shot. He's just like swinging his leg around, and people bite, and then just standing straight up and just chips it into the far post. It's a goal that is easily prevented, but the theme of the day is brave defending. No one is willing to step to make a tackle, because you know St. Louis City is leading the league in penalties conceded, and I fear that that is on the mind of our defenders because no one's willing to step or do anything at risk of giving up a pen. And I don't know, it's just extremely disappointing. That would be the last of the three goals for LAFC. Uh, yes, St. Louis would get one back. It would be ruled offsides. It was a pretty good goal though. Through ball into Celio, just offsides. Great ball into Klaus. Klaus slots it in bottom right. It takes a little deflection to beat the keeper, but that would have made it 3-1. And there was also a penalty call pretty late in the match against Paddleford, and the ref immediately gives it on the spot. Uh, I, for one, thought it was quite clear that his arms were at his sides. It took him quite some time, but he would review it and agree that it was not a penalty. So thanks for that. That was probably the best call of the game for Victor Rivas, because he was frustrating me. I'll get into
I
some
have a
stats about that. It's kind of crazy, but you got to eat.
I have a question about the penalty result, right? Because the penalty is decided that it's no penalty. Okay. Why was it a drop ball for St. Louis City instead of a corner for LAFC? Because the ball deflects off Padelford out for an LAFC corner,
Mhm.
but the result is a drop ball that Roman Berkey is able to collect. I was just unsure of why that was the ruling and not as if play would carry on. Do you guys know? Does someone listening know and can
I
tell
think
us? I
I think
hope.
it's literally just because it had to be an overturned
I
call.
think because once he like blows his whistle there, the ball's like
It's
in
a dead ball.
theory, yeah, it's dead right there.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
it didn't even go out of bounds technically
Okay.
in the
I
eyes of the
understand it
official,
now.
That's
which
my
I got it.
it's
best guess
weird.
though.
It's really weird, but
Yeah, that sounds correct. And yeah, there's just so many it feels like weird ass rules in soccer like that. I saw that result and was honestly I was pretty hype. I thought that LAFC were building quite a bit of momentum in the last period of the game.
Yeah.
To me, it seemed like Son was really going for his hat trick. Was I crazy?
No, I think he was. I mean, it,
He
he had a
did
lot of support tonight.
he did hand the ball over to Denny Bouanga for the penalty if the penalty was given.
I guess that
So
is true. I forgot
I
about
saw
that.
that. That was strange. That was strange. A moment of a good team moment
Yeah,
for sure.
I think he realized that Denny is in the Golden Boot race, and you might as well give it to him.
a couple
Um,
more games like this, and Young Min's gonna be in the Golden Boot race. He's got
Dude,
eight
six from
from
yeah.
six.
6 from 6 or something.
I think he has 8 goals since arriving at LAFC. He's already eclipsed Giroud's production. I think Giroud finished his career with LAFC with 3 goals. What a signing he's been for not only LAFC, but the league in general. I mean, he is a trophy caliber winning player, in my opinion. I think that he has cemented them in my book as the favorite for the MLS Cup champions.
It would not surprise me whatsoever if next season Heung-min Son is the most sold jersey in MLS.
Oh,
I mean, it's
yeah.
been Messi
If
the
not,
last two
yeah.
seasons. So if you don't already have a Messi jersey, which none of the three of us do because we
Uh,
support City,
I
I
almost
think
gotten one a couple of times. I can't lie.
I think the black and gold with Sun, yeah, it's kind of a little bit harder than pink with Messi. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, those white and gold jerseys that have a similar style to St. Louis City's
Some of my
With the
waves.
collar,
my
Wow.
some of my favorite
Yeah.
kits in the league.
Wow.
a true
I was
LAFC
hoping
fan should get married with that shirt on and have the tie under the collar.
pure class.
That's funny. That's funny. I did want to chat about the referee just a little bit. I'm not gonna harp on him too much, but I mean, I was getting frustrated just because St. Louis City seemed to be on the end of yellows for nothing. I mean, I understand um getting Song Bin's yellow for colliding with the goalkeeper, but also that's like the first foul of the game. And we're getting a
Yeah, I would
yellow
also
card.
say from our position, it looked like a fair 50-50 ball that both players
Yeah,
had gone sliding into.
exactly. Same thing for Celio. Celio's first touch of the game is a yellow card. What are we talking about? Like it's crazy. Looking at the stats here, St. Louis had 14 fouls to LAFC's 9 fouls. We received 5 yellow cards to LAFC's 1 yellow card. It just doesn't make sense. Like,
Who got their yellow?
their substitute or their player who got substituted, their center mid, Eddie Segura.
I don't even remember him getting a yellow.
I don't remember them getting a
Was
yellow.
that in like the melee toward the end of the game, you think, when Klaus was
Oh
Um,
kind of pushing
yeah.
up on
Yeah.
I can pull it
players?
up for
I
you.
think so.
Let's see.
I do. Oh, I had a point and now I lost it because I had to think of when he got that yellow card.
51st minute was their yellow.
Oh, well, that is not
Damn
when
near end of the
that little
first
skirmish
half.
was.
Edu Leuven's yellow really annoyed me because it seemed like a regular standard challenge. It's not like it wasn't a super tactical foul or anything. It was just a misjudged tackle. It was just getting on my nerves. It seemed like he was just excessively punishing St. Louis players and not reacting in the same way at all when LAFC does the exact same thing.
I have a question to pose to the podcasters and listeners here because whenever I see St. Louis City start to accumulate a few yellow cards, essentially more than one or two, it feels like that does start to eat into the mentality of the 11 on the field. It seems like specifically the starting 11 can potentially get a little more frustrated. It seems like that frustration just builds up quicker. Do you all see that too? Do you feel like St. Louis City is maybe a little more rash the more yellow cards we get? Am I seeing this right, or do y'all see it differently?
I mean, I agree. And I think it also, playing at home whenever the fans are also feeding into that um, kind of feeling of being hard done. Like, because, I'm not on the field. So granted, I'm going to talk about these yellows, but I'm probably wrong about some of these with my opinion, but every time you're going to call my player with a yellow, I'm yelling at you, regardless of whether it's a good yellow or a bad yellow. And so
Sure.
I've never played in front of a stadium of 22,000, but I'm sure if I felt hard done by a call from the ref and then the entire stadium is erupting with disappointing yells saying that the ref is wrong.
Validating your
It's
feelings.
it's gonna get to me at some point, and I'm gonna get chippy. I'm gonna pick up a yellow myself. I wish fans could get yellows because I'd have a few. I'd have a few.
I don't disagree with that, Grayson. I think you're probably closest in that analysis. I would add in there, I think the roster of St. Louis City has maybe a couple more hotheads than your typical starting 11. Like we have some young players in there, some players with like attitudes for better or for worse that, when stakes are higher, like you have to win this game in order to keep your playoff hopes alive, which I didn't even pay attention to the other results from the weekend once we had lost because it didn't matter. But all that factors into it. And then, if I spoke Portuguese, I'd talk shit in Portuguese to a ref that probably don't speak Portuguese.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I did.
Understandable.
I did keep up with those other matches afterwards, and I will say many of them went the wrong way. So
Okay.
it's not like we were gonna make it if we had beaten LAFC because there was some pretty pretty decent upsets over this weekend. So we're not gonna. I'm not gonna get
Hey, at
Don't
too.
least it wouldn't
fucking
have been
matter,
our
man.
It
fault
doesn't
then.
matter
Yeah.
anymore. So it's not on us. But honestly, um, we should have started winning games a long time ago. So like winning against LAFC isn't really going to turn around our season. We need to win games early.
True.
We need to
Yeah, we could
beat
Yeah.
go look back at
teams.
week one,
We need to beat
back in
Kansas
fucking
City.
March.
We lost to Kansas City this year, and that felt disgusting.
Yeah.
Twice.
The bottom line is St. Louis City was not good enough this season. That
Yeah.
is
Bottom line. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Any notes on this match before we move on into our points? Points.
I don't think I have any more notes. And honestly, I don't even think I have a point after that discussion. I feel like I've gotten everything I need to off my chest about this game, but I'm excited to hear your guys' points.
My point is like 3 sentences.
Rip
I'll,
it, because
I'll
Oh,
your
did
rip
I
it for you
freeze
right
points
now.
out?
maybe two.
I'll rip it for you right now. One word to encapsulate the game is embarrassing. In a game where we needed any of the players to show up, none of them did. The entire game was ghosted, unable to stand up to the LAFC press. Midfield was incapable of possession, let alone passing. Period. It shows the levels. That's all it is. This is levels. LAFC are a fourth place team at the moment, and we honestly are nowhere near that. I'd hope to say we could possibly be top 10, but we are so far off that there's no point in even speculating. Um, Basically, just there's a lot of work to be done this offseason, a lot of reshuffling, and like Jacob uh, alluded to last week, we need to get the office work done so we can get the players and the field work done so we can start training for next year. Lock up a new head coach, or if we're locking in Critchley for next season, we need to do it now so that, or not now, but we need to do it pretty soon so we know what we're working with so we can actually plan for an off season because it was quite clear that at the beginning of this season we were extremely unprepared and ill-fitted to compete. Once again, relying on summer signings is not going to be enough. Same thing again this season. We had to rely on new signings in Falu Fall and Songbin Jong, as well as call-ups from City 2 in order to be a competitive team. That can't be happening next season. based on what we were promised over last season that we were competing, we need to be competing off the jump. I do fear that if St. Louis isn't able to um, bring some joy to the pitch in, let's say, the first 10 games of the season, I do fear that the fan base might waver. So that's my take from today. I know it's pretty overarching. It's not really about the game, but I don't want to talk about this game. So we need to look big picture because the little picture is ugly as hell.
There's a crazy 3 sentences there, Grayson. How many commas did you use, my guy?
Well, the three sentences were like the first three sentences I spoke. Then I got carried away.
No, I'm just messing
Well
with
said,
you.
though. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I think you're spot on, man.
I got I got nothing to argue from that either. Just, I don't have a point from this game because my point was just purely going to be based off vibes. But to piggyback, Grayson, in some bright spots, I'm like really looking forward to seeing how the roster starts to get built going towards next year and all the news of like a new sporting director, a coach announcement, all that stuff. That is bringing me more excitement than unfortunately this season has brought me. So I would like to fast forward to February when the season kicks off again and we go again. City season 4, City
We're
Boys
back.
season 3.
We're back.
Damn. Yeah, that did get me a little bit hype. I cannot lie. I think I do have maybe a point this week. I thought of it courtesy of Grayson, and it's going to be that I would like to hear from the ownership. Okay. I don't want an ownership group that is extremely brash and loud in the preseason about expectations for the season and then is extremely quiet and doesn't really show face when expectations aren't met. Granted, I think they've demonstrated that they understand that change is needed by the firing of Lutz Pfannenstiel. However, since then, I don't think we've heard from Diego or Carolyn or anyone, and I would like to hear what it is they're doing, and maybe not what it is they're doing. We don't need, the transparency of a car windshield, but I would really appreciate some level of communication. And maybe I sound entitled. Maybe I feel like this because Lutz has been so communicative in the past. It would just be nice if we had, frankly, some accountability from the ownership. I think that fans have been maybe the hardest done this season out of everyone because of the expectations that ownership set on themselves. The fans didn't come out in the preseason saying with a headline in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch that the playoffs were the expectations. That was the ownership. They wanted to do that. And in the moment, we appreciated their desire and ambition. But now that that hasn't panned out, I think that we want to know what the club is planning on doing to improve our situation. So I think this week, my point is that I would like to hear from ownership and just hold. Essentially, this is my version of holding them accountable. This is me using my voice and technically platform to say that we as fans demand better and expect better from this club and the team, and we are disappointed with the results on the field and we want to see better. So that is my point for this week, is that I would like to hear some accountability for themselves and keep it pushing into 2026 because yeah, Grayson, you're right. We need direction going into the offseason. I think we need the entire offseason to prepare because we were ill prepared for this season.
It's a good deal. Let's move on. We've got, it's kind of fitting that what we're wearing right now, because it's time to ring that bell and get into this kit clash, baby. Ding, ding, ding. Perfect 10 for this hat. First off, this is one of my favorite hats I own. STL
Same.
Santos, goated. Um,
Easily.
I don't know any other place I'll be able to wear this except for City Park, at least in this fashion, because it does roll up to be like a regular fitted cap. But yeah, it's added to my wardrobe now,
It
so I'll
should
have
be
to figure
worn
it
100%.
out.
at my wedding, Jacob.
Yeah, that's not happening.
If we become vigilantes, uh, we could, could rock this.
We're Batman.
We'll have to change our
We're
voices.
Batman.
I'll shave my mustache and goatee. Uh, anyways, let's talk about these LAFC kits. Um, so we've rated their home kit already. So let's go ahead and rate their away kits. Because I really do wish they had worn them the other day. Because one, they're the same template as our kit.
Mhm.
Um, but I do think the execution on their collar was better than ours, just because of the little floral embroidery on that collar is super clean. I gotta love it. For me, their LAFC away kit gets a 9.7. This is a fantastic kit. I love it.
Whoa.
High on white kits. In the prior to this season, I did stand on business and say that this kit was one of my favorites in the league, not including the throwback kits which weren't out yet. But for me, in the regular season kits, this one is up there with new releases for sure.
Yeah, Grade's pretty fucking fire, dude. Even the back of the kid saying shoulder to shoulder, like that's fire. What did you rate it? How much did you glaze it?
I glazed it pretty hard. I gave it a 9.7. It's not a perfect 10. I'm trying to be picky. Um,
You couldn't just give it a 10.
no. Only one kid got a 10 this year, and it's San Jose Clash.
Oh, this one's up there for me though with the Clash kid, dog. It's so clean. I think I'm
Wow.
just gonna have to bite the bullet and start a shotgun and rate this a 10.
Wow. A
A lot of
perfect kit
LAFC
from Jacob.
glazed this year. It's pretty good.
They're
I,
co-owners, bro. I gotta glaze the co-owners.
I'm glad that you've come
Yeah, are
around.
we starting the is my turn? Sorry, I know I'm kind of cutting in and out.
No, you're good, bro.
Oh man, it's a great kit. I didn't even notice that little detail on the collar until you pointed it out, Grayson, and that did make it better for me. I want to say that black and white with gold is a pretty hard color combination to beat. It is an all-timer. For me, I'm going to go for a 9.5 on this kit. I think there's a little left to be desired, but the LAFC Son kit that they did with his name in Korean is a perfect 10. That was one of the coolest jerseys I've ever seen.
That is pretty damn clean. I cannot lie.
Yeah, City themselves could learn from that because we've got a Korean player.
I would
A
love
very good
that'd
one.
be so sick. I'm tired of English. Let's just put different languages on our kids, please. Let's just have some fun with it, okay? We don't need to read their names. We know their names. Are you kidding
We
me?
could pull the Colorado football and on the practice jerseys do the Instagram handles of all the players.
That'd be pretty funny. That's honestly kind of wild. Like I feel like some people have some pretty crazy Instagram handles, so I don't know.
I knew a
Um,
guy with the Instagram handle Big Meat 44 one time, so that would have been
yeah, put that
hilarious.
on a
I
kit.
just had to throw that in there.
Put that
Anyways,
on a kit.
anyways, next up in the league, St. Louis City have Austin FC, the Verde down in Texas. Guys, I don't love this matchup. I gotta be honest. I do not love it. I feel like St. Louis City have a pretty poor record in Austin as well.
I strongly dislike Austin, simply because I did not I did not rate them at the beginning of the season. And they've gone on a pretty darn good run to end out the year, that really helped them climb up the table and move into the sixth place, which I feel like is just absurd. I don't feel like they're a sixth place team. Um, please don't make me eat my words, Austin. But like, also, they were one of the teams that lost over the weekend that we needed to win. They lost to RSL. So I feel like the levels are coming back to bite them at the end of the season, and I do think St. Louis has enough quality to uh, put in a shift like we did against San Jose with Austin. But I do know that Austin is a pretty darn good team. Uh, they didn't have all of their best players last match. They actually didn't play Owen Wolf, Azuni, or Bakari until the 62nd minute, in which they still all played pretty poorly. Um, so it was interesting. CJ Fadri, their 21-year-old striker, he's been on a pretty good run of form recently as well. But I'd have to say the big ones are Owen Wolf and Bakari. Bakari put our defense on skates last time. Owen Wolf has been one of the best players in the MLS this season. Maybe not output wise, but in terms of quality, he's really just turned around. Like he's really just burst onto the scene. Definitely sticking his name out for one to watch for young Americans in the future because he is fantastic. He's got some skills. Um, I'm gonna hold off on my prediction here. I want you guys to go first.
Jacob,
Ethan,
Grayson.
I'll go.
the
Because you
go.
know what? I'm going to take Jean Klaus to score in a 2-all tie.
Mm.
And I'm picking Klaus to score because that would be his 10th goal of the season, which would be double Brandon Vasquez's output for $10 million. So I'm pretty happy
Ooh.
with João Klaus in comparison.
To be fair, Zhao Klaus still has an intact leg.
Yeah, oh, I forgot. Damn. Okay, well now I feel bad. Now I feel bad.
I don't.
I hope he recovers quickly.
To be fair, Brandon Vasquez has been hurt for a couple months.
I completely forgot about that.
Um, you know, I'm gonna keep cheering for the boys. So I'm actually gonna do something we've never done on this podcast before, and I'm gonna take Zhao Klaus as well, but it only counts when he scores his second goal.
Oh, a brace. You
Because
say
I
so.
want Klaus to get to that 15 goal mark on the season so that there's, a little bit of a reason to keep him on the squad production wise next year. And I'm going to take a City 3-2 W.
In my opinion, I
W.
think Klaus has proven his output, has proven his worth this season. So I
Take
would
him on the
love,
hat trick. Take him on the hat trick.
I love for him to go to 15, but I will not be taking him on the Hattie.
That's fucking bitch made, Grayson. Come on. We had
Oh,
something going here.
I think we're gonna get a 2-1 win. We're gonna sneak past Austin on this one. It's gonna be a hard game, but I think we're gonna be capable of doing it. And um, I haven't seen a defender score in quite some time, considering a defender scored our first goal ever in the league. I would love to see a header from a center back, honestly, but I'm not gonna predict that. I'm gonna give a goal to Songbing Jang. I think he deserves it, and I think he'll get one back against Austin. Yeah, yeah.
I like your optimism after this 3-0 defeat, boys.
Pretty poor 3-0 defeat, but Austin is not LAFC.
Man.
And I hope that doesn't
Yeah,
fire
we're
them
just
up.
giving their bulletin board
I
material.
hope this doesn't fire them up at all. But
The Austin lads watch this podcast and they're
Yeah,
like,
to the Austin FC players listening right now, the three of us are going to jump off the top rope, elbow bomb you guys this weekend, luchador style. It's St. Louis City all day.
give me that 619.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Any final notes, grab bags for this week? Honestly, I'm pretty cooked on grab bags. I don't have any this week. I'm usually
You
pretty good
always
at them.
have a
I
grab
always have
bag,
a grab
dude.
bag.
Jacob, tell me you have a grab bag in place.
City 2 got the Community Shield,
That's pretty big, supporter shield.
Supporter Shield.
That a boy, the
But
highest point total in MLS Next Pro this season. That is a pretty sick accomplishment. I hope it bodes well for the future of the first team. I think many first teamers were on the team that played. Off the top of my head, I know that Jay Reed got
Akil
playing time.
Watts.
Seth Antwi, Akil Watts got playing time. Makai Joyner scored a penalty in that game.
I have a grab bag.
Okay.
I have a grab bag.
Well, we gotta hear it right now.
Okay. Uh, interesting kind of development here because there is not really any. It's all speculation here, but um, when City 2 won the match, winning the Supporter Shield, you'd have to think everyone on that roster, including the St. Louis City first team players, would be overjoyed, elated, celebrating with their friends, even if he didn't play. One player looked not amused. I saw on Twitter it was already being called back to the Blom situation. I'm not going to go that far. I don't think we should go that far because it's unfair.
This is crazy.
It's unfair to him. But I mean, Seth Antwi looked not happy, period, to be involved in that game. Also in the team photo in the locker room, bro is stone cold. Not willing to throw a smile.
All right.
Let me see them cheesers, bruh.
Look, I think it's one thing if we were breaking down Seth Antwi's performance or his, debating whether or not he's like a fringe first team or should be getting more time. For me, this is a big ass nothing burger. This has nothing to it. I don't think this matters at all. I don't think this even says anything about how Seth Antwi feels about the club. I think that that he is kind of the focus of this for some reason. I don't know why, but for me, I think that this is getting way overdone online. For me, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's
You know what it's giving
a
me?
player reaction.
I don't know.
It's giving me Kobe job not finished vibes. What's there to be happy about? Okay, we won the regular season, but we got playoffs. What's there to be happy about? We technically haven't won any silverware. What's there to be happy about?
Well, we did win silverware. Supporter Shield is silverware.
Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah, it's like the Carabao Cup. It doesn't really matter.
I
You
like
gotta
when
win the
Jacob's
playoffs.
here, though.
You gotta win the playoffs.
I do like it.
Who won Supporter Shield last year, Grayson? For MLS.
Oh, for MLS?
Okay.
Not
Who won
us.
MLS playoffs last year?
LA Galaxy.
Exactly my point. You know who won the chip, but not the regular season. Job not finished.
Listen, all I'm saying is it's not a great look.
Okay.
All I'm saying.
I think that is a fair critique. I think that everyone wants everyone to be a team player, but yeah, for me, this is just a moment that we don't know the whole story,
And we don't.
So
We don't know any.
Maybe he had to take a shit, bro, and he was like, "We really gotta take pictures right now.
If
I got one
it
turtle
is
head."
gone. So yeah, I think for me, this is like just a nothing burger. Like I said, I don't think there's any meat to this.
If I could play Switzerland here, I agree with both of you. I don't think it's anything, and also it's not a great look optically, but I don't think it's anything.
Time will tell. We will see.
Now I want to know. Oh, I have a grab bag thing too to wrap it up in a bow. I'm gonna be back in St. Louis next month for the City Sprint 5K. I'm running that sucker. I'm going for sub 25 minutes, which is an okay 5K time. It's not crazy. I'm sure there's going to be some real runners there that dust me.
Are you gonna be
But
wearing
yeah.
this?
Oh, should I wear this? What do
It's
I get
gotta
a
be.
prize if
It's
I
gonna be
wear this
tricky.
for the full 5K?
What it's in what? October, late October?
Late October.
October 19th, the Sunday.
Okay.
After
So
the final match day of the year, as a matter of fact.
it's not it I mean it might be cold enough for you to wear the hoodie, but I was gonna say you should wear something City Boys related.
Bro, if someone can get me a City Boys
City Boys
like
track shorts.
tight, like yeah, if someone can get me a City Boys track uniform, I will wear it. No doubt. I will 100% wear that.
Coming to the City Boys shop.
If you want to try and beat me in a race at the City Sprint 5K, you're on. I'm not backing down from any smoke. I think I'm going to have the fastest podcast time. I challenge all podcasts to beat me at the City Sprint 5K.
Tom might have you. Tom's been running.
Tom has been running.
You know who hasn't been running? Me. I haven't put foot to
Ooh.
pavement in a minute.
To be fair, I
All
tweaked
better.
my knee to Cotton Eye Joe at my sister's wedding, but I'm back. I'm back with a vengeance, and I'm ready to go. Not fitness wise, but athletically, the muscles are still in the right places. My ACL is intact. My meniscus is a bitch, but we're chilling.
Kind of attached.
It's there. It's stapled in. The staple might hurt
Well, I'm
a
looking
little bit.
forward to seeing you guys there, seeing any listeners, and dude, honestly, I'm hoping to my dream come true would be beating a player in this 5K.
That would be
Bro,
crazy. I don't know if they're going to be competing in that, but
Ethan
maybe.
getting signed.
I'm going for a contract on October 19th.
Whoa,
I'm running for a contract.
This guy finished the 5K in 3 minutes. Sign this guy.
He's absolutely rapid. Did he take a golf cart for 3/4 of it? Absolutely, but he's here.
Yo, that kid is dead sprinting out of the gate.
We got
this
Erling Haaland runner coming across the finish line.
If you made it here and are just listening, give it a watch on YouTube, please.
Yeah, if you've been here this long, give us some shoe emojis in the comments so we know you made it to the end. Anything else, boys?
With
you
that,
want me to
Jacob,
close
take
it
us
out?
out.
I bet. If you've been watching, drop the fucking shoes emojis. That shit's funny. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. If you've been listening this far, you can also drop shoes emojis on Spotify. Make sure you are also following us and rate 5 stars. And most importantly, folks, do not forget to tell your mother you love her. Peace. STL. STL.